Rumba greetings, Bandeko. I know it has been ages. Eh? It has been ages since I said something. Yeah. Sometimes it is, workload and other personal stuff. You kind of forget to do things that you love, because this is something that I love, talking about the Rumba Republic. Meanwhile, how do you guys see my shirt? I need to change another one. You've already seen this shirt for too long. This was from Rumba Culture. They are based in Paris, but you can have the t-shirts online. Their site is on Instagram at Rumba Culture. You get beautiful shirts of the Rumba Republic. I like calling it the Rumba Republic because seriously, everything about that country revolves around Rumba music. But I don't know if I'm the one thinking this way, but it's like there's a different life in the west of the DRC, and then there's another life on the east of the DRC, because the east is really, really unstable. There's a lot of things going on, and there's war, and it's just not peaceful. So the DRC is like a place where you have like mixed emotions. You have one side where there's a lifestyle of music, and there's life, people are full of life, but then also there's that other side that brings you back to reality, like, in as much as we are enjoying here, our brothers and sisters are not having it easy. So it's really a place of mixed emotion. I understand the DRC is like the size of Western Europe. That's how big that country is. So I choose to call it the Rumba Republic because I want to be specific that when I say the Rumba Republic, I am talking about that side. Because that side is where, there is always a lot of things to talk about there. Anyway, quick update of what is going on. We are anticipating a concert at Casino de Paris on the 31st of August from Fabregas, Métis Noir. I used to call him Métis Noir until I had some of my French friends calling him Métis Noir. I was like, oh, the S is silent. Forgive me, I'm Anglophone, so we don't know that, but now I've learned. So he's called Fabregas Métis Noir. So he has a concert on the 31st of August at Casino de Paris. The last time I checked, that place is almost being sold out. They're like just the fossés, there are few spaces for fossé. Otherwise, the major categories, épuisé. The Roman Republic is making me upgrade my French, but it is good. I mean, we should be Pan-African, like try to learn so many things that can make us be able to traverse our continent and communicate easily. So I'm grateful about that. And then there is a concert at Musical de Seine or La Seine Musicale of Eriti Watanabe on the 31st of September, or is it 29th of September, also in France. And that would be like an opportunity for him to present his album Chemin de la Gloire to the public, the diasporan audience. Like I always say, these artists, when they produce their albums, they have to present it to the public. So you first of all present it at home, because they're the ones who are going to give you, thumbs up or thumbs down. And then you present it to Africa, but the most important audience you want to present it to is the diasporan public. So that is why they always want to have concerts abroad, because that is like the way that they can present their albums to us, which is a good thing. I don't know whether it is his third album or his fourth album, but that is actually the goal of his concert on the 29th of September. I don't know if it's 29th or 31st. I'm not sure about the day, but I know it is September of this year, in a few months to come. And then there are some other happenings that are going on, which I want to take time and talk about. There was supposed to be a concert. Oh, no, it wasn't a concert. There was supposed to be a festival in the Rhumba Republic called Festigola. Festigola was supposed to be happening at in the Rhumba Republic between the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th of August, like this past weekend that we have passed. And the concert did not happen. I mean, the festival did not happen because a weekend before that, on the 27th of July, there was a concert at Stade de Martyrs of a gospel artist who I think is also a pastor. You know, I do not want to mention his name because these people these days, if you're not sure of the person you're talking about, be like, hey, before you sue me. Anyway, of a gospel artist who is also a pastor, Pastor Mike Kalambai. He had a concert at Stade de Martyrs, and after the concert, there were 9 lives that were lost. The reasons are coming out now that the 9 lives were lost because Stade de Martyrs has a capacity of 80,000. When you do a concert, then you're expecting that at least 80,000 are supposed to fill that stadium. If you exceed, you should not exceed 100,000. But rumor has it that the committee or the group that was organizing that concert sold more tickets than the capacity of the stadium. So people were extremely, they were packed. They were too packed. It was no longer a sold out. It was, people were too many. And when people are too many, then there's always, those that cannot handle a lot, little air, I'm finding the right words. There are those people who have health issues. They struggle to grasp air when people are many. And then there are also those people who get panic attacks when people are too many and people are moving. So I want to believe that because of all that, we lost 9 lives on the 27th of July at the Stade de Martyrs. So because of that, the government now decided to put on hold any activity that is not sport related in the stadium Stade de Martyrs and the stadium Tata Rafael. And Tata Rafael is where Festigola was going to happen. Now, I don't have a problem with that. My issue comes when you want to penalize one person because another person did not do their job well. Let us address it on black and white. Because when you know the capacity of a stadium and you still sell tickets that are more than the capacity of a stadium, then the fault is yours and not the fault of the other person who has absolutely nothing to do with your concert. It is true that lives were lost and we need to sympathize and condole with those that lost their loved ones. But I am still failing to understand why, because of the deaths that happened in the concert of Mike Kalambai, the Festigola was not happening. Now, this is the issue with Festigola. Festigola, there's a post I did on TikTok where I was talking about my, the way I am happy about Festigola, because if you follow the history of Rhumba, you will know that Festigola is actually something that is celebrating the music culture of the DRC, of the Rhumba Republic. So the way Festigola was constituted was that it was going to showcase artists who have never gotten the platform, like the ones Festigola got, like the ones Koffi Olomide got, like the ones every other artist that you know about got. So Festigola was going to showcase them to the public, and there was also the chance that the diasporan audience was going to look at it. People who are from other countries of Africa were going to, to experience other artists aside from the ones that we know. So I want to believe that because the festival was called Festigola, the government kind of tagged it with Festigola and made it look like it was a Festigola event. And they are forgetting that the Festigola was actually a festival that was going to include everybody. It was going to showcase every form of artists. There are those that draw. There are those that do what is this called? Acrobatics. There are those who sing. There are those who dance. There are those who paint. There are those who do some other kind of art. They were going to showcase all of that. There were comedians that were coming to showcase also their comic talents. So it was not all about Festigola. But for some reason, everyone is attaching it to Festigola. But I kind of understand, because he is the one who birthed this project. He came up with the project. He looked for collaborators. He sat down. He sold the idea to their collaborators. They bought it. They both invested money. I understand he alone invested, I think, $1.2 million on that festival. And then he invited artists from other countries who were supposed to come and perform, either on the 2nd, on the 3rd, or on the 4th. These artists were probably also paid. I do not know, but there must have been some kind of cash agreement for them to have accepted to come to grace the festivals. Now, between the 2nd and the 3rd, you need to realize that there were hotels that booked. There were people that were going to make money out of selling stuff, selling the Congolese t-shirt, Congolese artists and their albums. There were going to be people who are going to sell food during the events and other things, people who came to the DRC from other countries of Africa and abroad, who would have wanted to buy some things from souvenir, some things that they can remember all their journey with. So all this was thwarted, stepped down, and crushed because somebody else did not do their homework. That is the part that I do not understand. I am not getting it why Festigola did not okay, fine, now it did not happen. We cannot do anything to go back. We cannot go back to the past. But why is it not happening anymore? So all this money that Festigola invested to make sure that, because other countries have events, they have festivals, they do festivals. So of all the countries, the Rhumba Republic needs a festival. They need a festival because their music is like one of the genres of music of Africa, authentically African music that have traversed the world, that the world knows about. It is recognized globally. They need a festival because it is something that the Congolese people can always profit from, because this is like their wealth. It's their personal wealth. Their Rhumba culture is their wealth. So someone who sat down and produced a festival to celebrate this, and you crush his project and you make it look like it was, it doesn't have meaning. We don't understand that part. So now the government now came up and said, no, for you to have Festigola, we want to be sure that the security of our people is in place. That I agree with. That part I do agree with, because one life lost is enough. There's nothing worth in this world like life. If you cannot do everything to protect one life, then you have no business really doing an event. So for them to have told Festigola that for you to have your Festigola, we need to make sure that the security that you people have planned for that festival is actually enough. With that, I agreed with. Now, the level that they placed, the list that they put on that guy, that is the part I did not understand. Because, guys, we are Africans. There are some things that we know we don't have. Like an ambulance that can come to your spot in 5 minutes. Do we have it? Even us, even me in Kenya, where I come from, we don't have. We don't have. So where is Festigola supposed to get this one from? Where? And then he's supposed to have like a mobile clinic. Do you know what a mobile clinic is? A mobile clinic is a clinic that has been put on something that is like a car. And there's a driver somewhere there. And the inside of that car is really like a clinic. Everything is there. There's a bed, there's a ventilator, there's an oxygen, I don't know what, inside there. And Festigola is supposed to do that. With which money? With which money? Is this not what the government is supposed to do? After all, it is for your government. It is for your people. This is something that is going to be here even when Festigola is not here. This is the part that I think everyone else is missing. Festigola is going to be there whether Festigola is singing or not. Whether Festigola is going to be there or not. Years and years and years to come, Festigola is going to happen because that is a celebration of Congolese music. A music that all of us have come to fall in love with. That is the part that everyone else is missing. Everyone else is just looking at, as long as it has Gola's name, this is her. Oh, you have an issue with him, you want to do something, oh, he will not make it. Because the conditions that you have given him are almost practically impossible. You are telling him to have security guards. How many? He is not in government. He has no charge over your security. He has no charge over the armed forces of your countries. You do. You are the people who are supposed to tell Festigola, we are going to disperse such a number of soldiers from our forces to come and help you with your Festigola. And then you come to some kind of an agreement. But you cannot give him that as a condition. He doesn't have soldiers. He's not a chief, he's not a commander of any armed force. If you ask me, I think there is more to it than that meets the eye. There is more to it than meets the eye. It's not sounding normal anymore. But then as I close, I would like to give my own view on the whole thing. You know, Festigola, everyone is now asking why Festigola is really having trouble with the government of the Rhumba Republic, because he doesn't seem to have the support of the government when he wants to do something, especially if he wants to do it in the DRC. Now, me having studied a lot of stuff about the Rhumba Republic, it means there is another artist or other artists who have closer ties with the government, but they do not have close ties with Festigola. So anything that they can do to influence that, they do. I think that is what is happening. Tell me what you think about it in the comment section. It's something that is very draining, especially for me as a Gauloise. It is draining so hard because I am not even looking I'm not looking at that festival as a Festigola project. I'm looking at it as something that is like the pride of the country, because finally people can have a reason to be coming down to the DRC every year to step on the soil that produces good music as Festigola. Unless there's someone else who wants to be the spearhead of Festigola. Unless I'm just I'm just insinuating something. I'm not sure. I'm just saying, because I am wondering why the government is not seeing the perspective of Festigola. And then yesterday or day before yesterday, he was hosted with one of the major journalists. He's called Israel Mutombo, and he interviewed Festigola, and they were talking about Festigola and why it was postponed or held or put on hold, and he was just giving his own side of the story. But me watching that interview, I saw a very tired Lepadre. He looked really drained, because you can only be strong for too long. You can't be strong forever. There's some points in your life that will really be like, some hit you below the belt. the way they know it's normally said, hit you below the belt. And he didn't look, he looked drained. Because even the way he was talking was like, oh, why are they not seeing what I'm seeing? Why do I have to do this? Why do I have to go through this? And he requested the government to use the wisdom of Solomon. That one is really trending in TikTok, and I said I have to talk about that part as well. He said he gave the story of King Solomon and the two women that were dragging a child. There were two women, and they both had babies, and one was not careful. One was careless with the child. She slept on her child, and the child died. And in the night, when the other lady was still sleeping, she swapped the children. So when they went to report, of course, the one whose child was alive is the one who went to report and said, no, she swapped my child. That is my child. And this other person also said, no, this is my child. Then Solomon said, okay, then because both of you are claiming that the child is yours, I'm just going to take out my sword and split the child into two. And then the one who was the real mother is the one that said, no, don't split the child. That is my child. But the one who was the guilty one said, yeah, split so that both of us don't split. So according to the one who was really not hit, the one who didn't have anything to lose because she had already lost a child, was the one who was like, let's all lose. What is there? But the one who has everything to lose is the one that was begging. That was a very strong message to the government, because this past weekend was supposed to be Festigola. The coming weekend, which is the 10th and the 11th of August, was supposed to be double start de Matiro Fally Ipupa. And nobody is hearing him complaining about his own cancellation of his concert. Nobody is hearing him say something about his own, because even me, I would be like, hey, I have invested on my double concert. You cannot just do it. But he was like, okay. Okay. Then let all of us not. I believe that was the message that Lepadre was saying. Of course, he didn't mention name, but me I can say my opinion. I can say what I can interpret that message the way I want to interpret it. That is how I saw it. Yeah. You can tell me how you can interpret that kind of a message, but me, that is how I saw it. I felt it like he was telling the government, between the two of us, I am really the one who's losing. So think about it. Anyways, bref, as the French normally say, bref, as I close it. If Festigola cannot happen because the government does not see the value of Festigola, then Festigola should drop it. Festigola should drop it and do the Festigola in another country. He can even do it on streaming. Nowadays, people are like, hey, Lepadre, give us just the streaming. You just link. See, the people will stream on that Festigola. You will be shocked. Like, okay, fine. You don't want people to come together. Fine. Then let me pick a smaller space, but put streaming. Like serious streaming. Because he has to get that money back, surely. I don't know. 1.2 million. Maybe one day, when Lepadre is not here, maybe the Rhumba Republic will now see the value of that Festigola. Because it's very few of us that are looking at Festigola in a different picture. I'm looking at it as a celebration of the effort that the artist did way from Wendo Kolosoi up to now. Someone is finally bringing a celebration of it. where they are, their souls should be celebrating that finally we have a festival. Because as Africans, we know that festivals are like, during those days, festivals were invoking spirits. Festivals were done to invoke some spirits of ancestors, or good spirits, or the gods were being invoked by festivals. So I kind of feel that would have been something even spiritual, because this is a soil that produces music. And they have produced music that people have loved. It's one thing to produce music. It is another thing to produce music that everybody loves. Even those that don't understand what you're saying. Because Festigola can come to a country like Nigeria or Kenya or Tanzania or South Africa where people don't understand Lingala and sing in Lingala and people will love it. That is the power of that kind of a song. That's the power of that music. So let me finish about Lepadre because it makes me sentimental. I feel emotional. I feel emotional when I'm talking about Lepadre and courage to Lepadre. There's one thing that you have that is for sure that nobody is going to take away from you, and that is grace. I tell you, I don't know how you do it, but there is something you have that makes people are willing to go borders for you. People are standing with you. People who are Golwa and Golwas are standing with you in solidarity. They are not moving. They are not moving. They're like, you tell us to go this way, we'll go. You tell us to jump, we just ask you how high. How high do you want us to jump? And for an artist to have such a strong fan base like the Golwa and the Golwas, then really, whatever does not exist is really not Festigola. For Festigola, there is nothing that does not exist. Everything is possible with him and his Golwas. So courage, à l'artiste. And we'll just keep informing you about the happenings, if there's a decision that has been made, if there is a new date on Festigola. But as things stand, the government has given him requirements which are extremely exaggerated. So we are here just wondering how he's going to manage that. But we're just also behind him in solidarity and hoping that he makes the right decision, if not for him, but for everybody else.